In this part, we're going to take up a real-life use case of workflow orchestration, completing it by using our visual connection in Exalate. To set up the scene, let's consider this Jira ticket. It's a sample ticket and it's already exalated over to the Azure DevOps side, to the work item 8610, which I've got open on the screen. Now, in order to create a workflow orchestration, we will need to map statuses. On the Jira side, the workflow is to do, in progress, and done. That is the three states we have. Now, when we change the state to in progress, we want the Azure DevOps state to change correspondingly. But obviously, Azure DevOps does not have the corresponding state in progress, so we should define it as active. When the Jira ticket changes to done, we will move the Azure DevOps ticket to closed. And that's how you can create the workflow orchestration from Jira to Azure DevOps. In order to do it, let's open the visual connection we already have and go to the Rules tab to configure it. On line number 3, you can see that the status is already mapped. So let's click on Edit to edit the rules, and you'll see that there is already some data there. Now, it's your choice. You can either start by working on these, or delete all of them and start from scratch. On the Jira side, the first thing we want to do is map the in progress to active on the Azure DevOps side. And we'll add another one called done on the Jira side to be mapped to closed on the Azure DevOps side. Now, the way we've presented the use case is a unidirectional one. So we want the Jira status to unidirectionally flow over to the Azure DevOps side. Let's publish these changes to the connection. And once these are successfully published, we'll test out the use case by changing the status on the Jira side and seeing what happens on the Azure DevOps side. Just wait for this to be published. All right, here's the success message indicating that the rules have taken effect. Now let's change the status on the Jira side to in progress. And this should trigger the change on the Azure DevOps side. So let's switch over there. The status is new right now, as you can see. We'll wait for the synchronization to take effect, and it's changed to the state active. We can yet do another test. Because we've mapped the done status as well, this should map to the Azure DevOps state closed. So, as soon as the synchronization takes effect, the Azure DevOps status is going to change to closed, as you can see here on the screen. And that's it. This was a useful real-life scenario of workflow orchestration using Exalate.